The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And right away, he lost the football. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun. Goff. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved.
Yeah.
You've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. First down, Bridgewater. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 23 yards on the play.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 22 carries, 102 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, gone. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Barr in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. The numbers a week ago for Cook. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They run it again with Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Bridgewater. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They've just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're indeed going for it. Bridgewater. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. 15 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Minnesota first down. Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. So 2nd and 10 here. And again, it's Bridgewater. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. On 4th down, they do snap it to Bridgewater. And he's able to find Diggs. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll be a Minnesota first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
2nd down, Bridgewater. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Here's Bridgewater. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200 plus right now. In motion left moves Nelson. Back to the ground, Cook. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
I mean, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
This offense has converted in this spot twice already here in this first quarter. Now, can they convert again here on 4th down? Throwing, Bridgewater. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Ziggy Ansah. So they've converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Here's Ajayi. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So it'll be first down here after the run. From the 50, it's gone. And it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country, and at BYU was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Here's Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Dixon. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Over the middle, complete. It's Dixon. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Now Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ezekiel Ansah in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Bridgewater now from the 50. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 36 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When I watched Jared Goff on tape at Cal, I saw a guy who wasn't just a dart thrower. You know, a lot of people said, he's perfect for the West Coast offense. I always thought he could do a little bit more, and that was the reason why. He can push it downfield. He has a good, strong arm.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Second and 10. Goff again. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, here's Goff. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Diggs going in motion right. They find some open field here. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am, okay?
True.
So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. And on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys?
Not necessarily.
You find the best guys, plug them in on your O-line.
Right. As a general rule now, you're a lot more balanced on your offensive line. It might still lean towards your best pass blocker on the left side.
Sure.
But not necessarily all the time.
Diggs going in motion right. On second down, Cook. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. A toss to Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. To throw is Bridgewater. Throw left side complete. That's Dixon. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down. That sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right? You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
To throw, Bridgewater, eluding the pressure right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. To throw is gone. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Drops it off to Ajayi. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. This is Ajayi. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range. And
we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Chiefs continue to add on. They're really rolling. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Bridgewater to throw it. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got to stop. On that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now a give running right, it's Cook. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A give. This is Cook. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And he's able to take this back to the 36-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
After the interception, here's Goff. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Eric Ebron, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Pass interference, defense.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Looking deep downfield. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So Jared Goff, he is the focus of our... Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Touchdown, Detroit! Eric Ebron with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 yards through the air and a first down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds. And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy? Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. J.J. Nelson, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he puts it through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll be dropped at the 30. With a shifty move, got him a couple extra on the play. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now it's the backup Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On second down, here's Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions have got it back to a one-score game. On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running, because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs for different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels.
Touchdown, Vikings! J.J. Nelson, his third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. By the way, they're into the second half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. And the Eagles have scored again now to extend their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Our eyes shift now to the Vikings defense. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
They run again with a jive. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Lions on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken around the 12. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the 3rd quarter. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go play action. Bridgewater. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
So on 4th down, they're going to go again. Keep in mind they're 3 of 4 so far in these situations.
Let's go. 180.
They're indeed going for it. Bridgewater. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football, and getting your toes tapped in bounds.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it. And that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 76 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A gain of 6 there on first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he slides to avoid the hit. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Second down following the run. From the gun, Stafford is complete to Jones. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Stafford now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Stafford on third down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you can be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. And he's got some space here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Handoff comes to Cook. And an alley to run. There he goes right side. And he'll get... zone, touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Connects it to Roberts, right side. And I think the ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Bridgewater. He completes it to Nelson. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And he's got it. And out of bounds just shy of the end zone at the 1. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running. They will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Here's Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on 2nd down at Stafford. Roberts with it over the middle. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Roberts got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there at a 1st down again. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And he's able to put it through. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. This fielded at the 2. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your
Cook strip. The ball's out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, it's certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Let's go.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Again, it's Cook. And some room to work. And they're going to get this one all the way out across 45. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll be their second, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Diggs going in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there.
Let's go. Tiger. Get ready. Way 90.
They'll run it. Here's Cook, and he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play.
Let's go.
Throwing here, Bridgewater. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, and this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.